Alright, we're back with some more live commentary action. Let's see what we got going on this time. No obvious awesomeness. Rufous owl is a pretty good predator bird. We do have wedge-tailed eagle in the tray. It's one of my favorites from OE. Eastern Rosella. All players gain 1 nectar. You also gain a wheat. Not sure I like handing out nectar to my opponent. So we have a good forest bird. Broadwing hawk is a good, cheap body to throw down into the forest. Nest box and wetland scientist kind of lines up with our rufous owl. Wedgetail could be our wetland bird. What's the bird feeder look like here? Got some nectar in the tray. We're going second. I don't know that my opponent will draw cards to grab any of these birds. Kinda like the Swift. Lines up with our bonus card. Throw that down in column 1 of our grasslands just to cover up that stinker of a spot. The Rosella does line up with our bonus card, but double nectar in the cost. Kind of feel like it's too slow. Alright, well, let's roll with this and see what happens. I've chosen this new background from the Woodland pack, the new expansion pack, and there I'm interrupted abruptly by a wood duck in the tray. Rule 16 strikes, so my opponent's going to be pretty unhappy about that. Let's see here. So they took the wedge-tail eagle. I'm going to keep the nectar here, and I'm just going to draw the wood duck. And that's going to combo well with our Swift. We can generate some extra food from our forest and tuck them behind the Swift here. Got to keep an eye on the round 1 goal of eggs and cup nests. There's a painted white start from my opponent, so good food gaining bird from them. So I think we're just going to roll with the wood duck here. Gonna have to overpay for it, but it's gonna be worth it. So as I was saying, I'm rolling with this new background. It looks pretty awesome. There's some more lavender plants here. Nice boat in the pond up front. Looks pretty nice. Some big snowflakes coming down. Alright, so my opponent drew cards. There's a loggerhead. So we don't want a worm. I'm gonna need to lay eggs eventually to get this rufous owl down. Let's grab some nectar. And let's draw some cards. Pie-billed grebe would be great, but we got a wood duck. Rainbow Lorikeet. Discard 1 nectar to the spent nectar space. If you do, gain 2 food from the bird feeder. I kind of like that. And we'll get rid of the grebe. Nice quick plays from my opponent here. They've gained food. So let's throw down this Swift. There's a double play from my opponent. Reed Warbler into Wedgetail. Pretty good play. I probably, in retrospect, should have probably gained food here to get that reroll on the bird feeder. I kind of passed that off to my opponent, but they went with their double play here. There's their cup nest for the wrong goal, spending nectar into the wetlands there. So I think now here is where I reroll the bird feeder. Nectar, so I got 2 nectar. Could go with the lorikeet. Let's get a rat for our rufous owl. Petrol. That could be our cup nest. Not digging the wren here. So my opponent gains some more food. Sitting on a good pile of food here. 0 eggs. Could be a grassland bird coming here. 3 activations left in the round. Could get this petrel down. And then lay eggs. Get on the board for the round goal. I think that's what I'm going to do. Scoop up the nectar while it's here. Draw some more cards. Roadrunner's good bomb. Yellow-rumped warbler could work out well with our wood duck here. But I need to get rid of a card. How badly do I want the lorikeet? It is a nest box bird. So I think I'm going to let the warbler go here. Black-shouldered kite from my opponent. So they could have rodentologist or falconer here, which would explain why they grabbed the eagle out of the tray at the start. So they're going to lay eggs. So I'm going to throw it on the petrel here, using all my nectar. Taking the lead on the wetland nectar points. Now we got 1 nectar left with 1 activation. I think I'm going to... I should have probably gained a worm or something instead of that nectar, but I can discard it to re-roll the bird feeder here. I could also just draw a ton of cards as well. I can reset the tray. I think that's what I'm going to do. My opponent laid their eggs. They did not get a hit on their kite. So I think, well, to get on the board for the round goal here, I have to lay eggs. So I'm going to lose this nectar. But I'm going to lose the round goal anyway because my petrel only has 1 egg space. So I could get the 1 point. So is it worth 1 point? I don't think it is. I think I'm just going to concede that. Make use of my nectar here. And what do we got here? Kiwi. And the rough. I think I'm going to take those. And those are all pretty terrible off the petrel here. I could throw the tree sparrow down into my grasslands. It is a nest box bird. And then I'll get a little bit of extra wheat hopefully when my opponent gains food. Raven flips out, but the tray's gonna reset here. Opponent wins that one. So now I'm going first here in round 2. That scaled quail. My opponent could start putting together a grassland egg spam engine here. I think I am just going to draw more cards. I could just roll with the wood duck though. Kinda want to play everything here. I probably definitely want to get the rough down. Kiwi, I'm going to save it in case I get another bonus card bird because I think we're going to be able to make points on this card. Bit of a dilemma here. So I think I am just going to gain food. And let's take a worm. Frigate bird is a good bomb. I think I will take the quail here. What am I going to get rid of? was a pretty tough call. I think I am going to let this tree sparrow go. Black red start. I need that. Wonder if my opponent grabs it. So my opponent left it. They drew cards. So that's going to go amazingly with my wood duck here. So I need to lay eggs. But I also need to get that red start. Let's get some more food. Kind of stalling out a little bit here. I need to start making some plays, but that red start is really going to help me out with my eggs. Take the wheat here, reroll, get a nectar, let's draw cards. Let the cardinal go. Good bomb flips up in the tray. There, my opponent scooped up that heron. I have to lay eggs here. My opponent scooped up the nectar. I'm gonna throw down this lorikeet. Picking up the 4 points off the nest box builder in the process. There's a coal tit from my opponent, so they'll be doing some caching. Let's gain some more food. You know, honestly, I don't know if I'm going to be utilizing this rough very effectively. I want to play all these cards. We'll let the scaled quail go here. Could use a fish. But that could come later. Take the worm. Nectar. Nectar. So I'm going to discard the nectar to gain a nectar and a rat for our Rufus Owl. Longspur, good bonus card bird. So we're coming into the end of round 2 here. I really need to start playing these birds. The black red start is going to be the #1 priority. I really need to start making plays. And I don't think I'm going to have enough time to really get some mileage out of rough. But we'll hold on to it a little bit here. Longspur needs to go down. Frigate bird needs to go down. And then the Kiwi will back up our Longspur if we whiff. Roadrunner's a good bomb. Rufus Owl's a good bomb. And a good engine power here. There, my opponent laid eggs and revealed a ton of nectar. They rerolled the bird feeder for their kite here. So what does that do for us? 2 activations left. I need to be able to spend a nectar, and we got to remember our Swift's power too. Worms could go to the Swift here. Well, I need to play this. So let's roll with that, down to 0 eggs. Taking the lead in the round goal. My opponent has 2 worms, so they could play a bird to tie the wrong goal, which is probably why they laid eggs here. They did have 1 though. It'd be really nice if that bird feeder stayed the way it was. Opponent could gain food here and play a bird for their last activation of the round. So they did leave the food. There they played Benelli, so they're down to 1 card in hand. And they had to have used a food here. Their 2 worms covered the last rat on the Benelli. So they're tying the wrong goal here. I can't play bird because I have 0 eggs. So I'm going to gain food here. There's only 1 worm in the tray. What do I need? I need wheat for the Longspur. Let's take a nectar, though, to discard to the lorikeet. I need a wheat. I think I am going to let the rough go here. I need a lot of food and quickly. Let's take the worm. Actually, let's take the other... I got 2 wheat here coming. Let's take the worm here. And I will discard to gain wheat. Reroll. And... could be time for a fish here. We do need a 3rd rat for the Rufus Owl. 2 wheat and a worm, we got it. 2 worms and a wheat. Let's grab another wheat here. Although the next round goal is fish and rats and food cost. We'll roll with that though. Nutcracker, don't need it. Whistling duck, don't need it. So it looks like we're leading on all the nectar points, which is great. This lorikeet is really helping out with that. Alright, so we're going to lay some eggs in the forest. Now honestly, I kind of want to keep this food. So we tied there. Alright, round 3. Wonder if my opponent grabs that cuckoo. I'm not going to be spamming eggs, but I might need to lay a couple times anyway. My opponent did scoop them up. So there's a bald eagle and an American crow. Bald eagle really helps for the round goal. I've got so many cards I already want to play. I kind of think I'm going to let my opponent go for that if they want it. They could have Rodentologist. I kind of have to start, not kind of, I really have to start making plays here in round 3. So I think I'm just going to let him have that bald eagle. Get forced down this owl. That way my next gain food action will activate the power. If they have a Rodentologist, well, they're incentivized to grab it because of the wrong goal, but yeah, see, they grabbed it. I don't like that. If it were earlier in the game, I would probably deny that. But I need to start making plays here and making forward progress. They have 0 food, so they have to gain food here. They're going to want to grab those 2 fish for the eagle. I could throw down the Roadrunner. Force it down and burn all my food. Long Spur sets up the Kiwi. Frigate Bird should come down for the round goal. So I'm going to do this. Discard the Nutcracker. Got our Nest Box Builder maxed out. So let's gain a worm. Another worm, reroll, gain nectar. I'm going to take the... I actually want to draw that. So let's tuck the hummingbird. Discard the nectar to gain 2 more nectar. Draw this with the wood duck. And discard the cockatoo. Peregrine Falcon flips up for the wrong goal here. So my opponent gained food there. They flipped the bird feeder. Got their nectar. They got a fish here. So they're going to play that bald eagle. There's no fish in the tray. So I got options in front of me here. Got one egg left before I have to lay more eggs. I think I'm actually going to throw down this dove. And then gain food. So I have 3 activations left in the round. 4 right now. So if I play the dove, gain food, lay eggs, and maybe spend some excess food on eggs, then I can play the frigate bird on my last activation of the round and make some more progress toward the wrong goal, although it looks like my opponent is going to win this one. Especially with that bald eagle on the way. But the collared dove will let me discard nectar to its power. So I think I'm going to concede this wrong goal to my opponent, but we're going to keep fighting for it. So let's gain the food first. I could flip the bird feeder here or something better, but I do get a flip here anyway. I want to play all these cards, so I don't want to discard. 1, 2, 3 worms, 4 worms. I have 4 worms, 2 wheat. I need 4 total wheat. Let's take the wheat. And that is a bummer reroll on the bird feeder here. I do need fish. The Rufus Owl misses. I will discard the nectar to get a reroll. Picking up 2 nectar. And I'm going to deny the peregrine. And there's the bald eagle from my opponent. Didn't leave them any fish in the tray. So I think I'm actually going to play this long spur instead of the collared dove. That sets up my Kiwi. And what are we getting here? Birdbander and Fishery Manager. The frigate bird scores 3 points on fishery. So my opponent gains some food. 2 activations left. They're way ahead on the wrong goal. So I could just hold off on the eggs here. Although I could lay eggs and then play another bird. And that will improve, that'll give me an extra egg off the red start. This is going to be a close game, I think. So let's discard. Get rid of the falcon. And then we can spend a food. Let's get rid of a worm. We're going to want to put the eggs in the forest here because we're going to play another grassland bird. Alright, so there we got the cuckoo from my opponent. Doesn't work toward the wrong goal, but they're going to win that anyway. So I'm going to throw down the Roadrunner here, using all of our nectar. So let's lay our eggs. Do I want to get rid of these worms? I don't really. I want to play birds with the food. Alright, came in second there as planned. My opponent's doing a really good job of being competitive on the wrong goals. Drongo. Round 4 Drongo isn't going to do much. Could get the Kiwi down. Could go in the forest. We get the collared dove down in the grasslands. Gotta get the frigate bird down. We're gonna lose the wrong goal. We're gonna come in second here. It's an easy second place. 2 nectar in the tray. So I think I'm gonna take this opportunity. And let's just ensure there are no Drongo shenanigans. We'll spend the nectar. Get a nectar here. And let's pick up the second fish for the frigate bird. Goshawk, Mini Benelli. Shoveler can go. Pileated pops up. That would have been nice earlier. So my opponent is giving me a rat to lay 3 eggs. Interesting. So good hit for them. The rat can be cash. That's a point on this dove. Alright, I got 6 eggs. And I got at least 3 birds that I want to play. I'm going to come in second on the wrong goal. So do I take the opportunity to gain some more food? Could go Kiwi. I think I am going to let the fishery manager go. Give up 3 points to potentially see more. We'll get to look at 4 bonus cards. Should be able to score more than 3 points there, hopefully. So I could take advantage of this nectar that's available to me. I want to play these 3 birds. That's going to take 2, 4, 5 eggs, so I don't have to lay eggs. The dove will come down, pick up an extra egg off the red start. I could gain food here to try to maximize my dove at the end and my nectar points. So we're tying on the wetland nectar points, so the frigate bird could come down and win that. So I think I will let the goshawk go here. Take nectar, take the worm, reroll. No nectar available. So let's just take wheat. Yeah, we're gonna have to roll with that. I wasn't looking at the potential reroll here for the Lorikeet. So I could spend the nectar, gain 2 food. Let's gain the wheat and the worm. And we'll let the Phoebe go here. That reroll there is kind of annoying. No more nectar for the Lorikeet to pick up. There's the night heron. Good bomb. No nectar usage. So I'm going to go... So I need cherry. I need to use a nectar there. We'll use one nectar here in the wetlands to take the lead here. Yeah, that's a 10-point rodentologist, if that's what my opponent has here. Pretty likely. So my opponent drew cards. Hopefully they don't have Eastern Imperial Eagle as well. Drawing cards that late in the game is kind of a bad sign for your overall development, but that might be the option that's in front of them here. Alright, so Kiwi has to go down, and Dove has to go down. So we need to use a nectar to cover the cherry. Burn off our grassland eggs. And hopefully our Kiwi doesn't miss. Oh, Prairie Manager would be amazing here. We have all prairie birds. So my opponent dropped a Chiff-Chaff using nectar to tie the nectar points here. So that's all that was, because it's not really a good bonus card play. It's only one bonus card. We think they're on Falconer Rodentologist. They had to spend 2 eggs to get there. They've only got 1 egg, but now we're only going to have 2 here. Alright, so here comes the Kiwi. Make sure I spend this last egg here. And let's hope that we do better than 3 points. And we do, an 8-point Mechanical Engineer. So the Kiwi coming through for us. Oh, I get to keep 2. It's even better than I thought. So a huge play. 6-point Ethologist, so a 14-point bonus card pull from our Kiwi. And my opponent laid some more eggs here. And that rat is just a free point for us. So let's just throw 1 worm here to get the tuck. And we'll put the rest on the dove. And we'll lay the eggs in the grasslands. Alright, I'm feeling really good about this now. We lose the wrong goal. No worries there. Win the forest nectar. Win the grassland nectar, and I think we tied on the wetland nectar, so we had a very strong nectar game. Alright, if you like that Kiwi bomb action, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Help me get to 700 subs. Looking pretty good. 4 points, so maybe that was Falconer for my opponent. 21 for us. Commanding lead on the wrong goals for my opponent. And here comes the nectar. 113 to 90. Good game to my opponent. Let's take a look at their board real quick here. Oh, Forester. Okay, so they just were working toward the wrong goal here with all these rodent-eating predator birds. So there's a bunting in hand. Alright, thanks for watching, everybody.